I worked the polls this past election. It was horrible.
How so?
It was horrible. It was horribly run.
Yes.
I know votes weren't getting counted because the poll workers get a crammed, 3 or 4 hour session of how to do everything. It's massively complicated on how to process the votes. The machines don't work sometimes, and people are doing it all different ways when they're supposed to have a streamlined system. It's not. It's a mess.
I agree with you.
It's a mess. And
Heather is now a veteran at working the poll in 2 different fields.
That's true. But I think it all trickles down because, I mean, if they really cared, you'd think they'd care at the base level, which is the people who are actually trying to vote on these complicated ass ballots and half the shit getting rejected because they're not even able to do it right. It's so fucking complicated.
Nothing will make you not want to eat the sausage like making the sausage. And she ate the sausage and realized it's just bullshit.
Josh Fox, I saw him give a speech and he said, why is it I can't like a Facebook post twice? Somehow they figured that out. I can't. They figured it out on Facebook, but I can't. How come I can't vote online?
Right.
How come we have to have these? I got to show up, and somebody else has to have my name on the list. And why can't I just do it?
And it's wrong. And your name is wrong. And who you're voting for, your party is wrong.
Right.
And then you have to go backwards and go through some other process to get it right. But you can't do it for this round.
Right.
You got to wait to the next round.
The only voter fraud that's ever been
proven.
I'm going to surprise you with this. Is never at the ballot box.
Oh, no, right.
It's always the government.
Right.
It's never us. It's the government doing things, rigging. In fact, I'll give you voter fraud. You want voter fraud? It's all the gerrymandering. That's voter fraud.
That is voter fraud.
That is real voter fraud. The voter fraud that they're trying to claim is going to happen if they just let us use our iPhones to vote is bullshit. It's never existed. It doesn't exist. No one's trying to cast 2 votes. And if it ever did happen, it would be government that did it, not the people. We should be demanding a simple way to vote and not going through this bullshit that we're going through.
I've talked to the people voting firsthand, and they're so proud to have that vote. They are careful. They want to make sure they're doing it right. And they come up and, they're so happy to get their sticker. I voted, and they're getting screwed.
No doubt about it.
That's so funny.
Just with them closing polling places, right, in parts of the country, and everybody's like, oh, well, we got caught off guard, or we never did this before. Yeah. It's like, so there's the 2 kinds of fraud. There's voter fraud, which is when someone tries to vote twice, or if they're not registered, they try to vote or something.
Which is nearly never.
Almost never.
You can call it never statistically speaking.
Yeah, statistically speaking, it doesn't happen.
And the reason you get to call it never is because there's no effect by how much it's happened, there is 0 effect.
But there is a thing called election fraud. Now, election fraud is when they suppress the vote by passing laws that say you have to have an ID or something, and they know...
It's always aimed at Heather.
And they know statistically that there'll be a certain percentage of people who, usually poor and minorities, and elderly people who won't be able to fulfill this, and they won't be able to vote, and they go, so what?
Right.
So that's, to me, election fraud. Also not counting the ballots.
I'm okay with oppressing elderly vote. They have nothing. There's nothing in the game for them anymore. Why should they have a say?
But they still get to vote.
Bullshit. If you're getting off the planet within 3 years, you don't get to vote. No, fuck you.
But how do you know if they're getting off the planet in 3 years?
Well, with the death squads.